Welcome, adventurers and friends. Gather round and warm yourselves by the fire, for tonight we're setting off on a journey through the wilds of Faerun, where mystery and mischief await. We'll follow the heroes of Baldurs Gate, our courageous, chaotic band of adventurers, as they plunge into a new tale of daring, delight, and of course, a bit of disastrous luck. For what's an adventure without a little mayhem, especially when it involves our favorite oddballs? Tav, the hero with more wit than wisdom, Astarion, the eternally well-groomed vampire rogue, Gale, the walking arcane mystery with a penchant for mishaps, Shadowheart, our enigmatic cleric of Shar, Karlach, the fiery, lovable tiefling who's always first into the fray, and Lae'zel, the proud Githyanki whose determination knows no bounds. Let us embark together on a story called The Trouble with Tributes. Chapter 1, A Royal Request. In the early hours of dawn, our heroes trudged into Baldur's Gate, weary but triumphant. Just as they began fantasizing about well-earned baths, a cloaked messenger rushed toward them, breathing heavily. "Are you the heroes of Baldur's Gate?" he panted. Tav, sensing both opportunity and potential coin, raised an eyebrow.
Heroes is such a strong word, but yes, that's us.
The messenger handed Tav a gilded scroll sealed with a strange emblem, a lion's head intertwined with a crescent moon. Gale's eyes gleamed with interest.
"A noble request?"
he mused. Tav broke the seal and read aloud.
To the respected champions of Baldur's Gate, you are cordially summoned by Lady Amira Lioncrest of Neverwinter. Our annual festival honoring the goddess Selûne is nigh, but strange occurrences have soured the preparations. Shadows linger where they shouldn't, and the sacred Moonstone has vanished from the temple's altar. Without it, the festival is doomed and the goddess will not be honored. Please come swiftly, and you shall be richly rewarded.
A reward was all it took. With no time to waste, our heroes gathered their supplies and headed toward Neverwinter, their minds racing with possibilities of riches and, for some, romantic intrigue. Chapter 2, The Vanishing Moonstone. The festival grounds in Neverwinter were a mix of grandeur and chaos. Banners bearing symbols of Selûne fluttered in the breeze, and tents filled with merchants, musicians, and priests sprawled across the fields. However, something felt off. The priests, normally welcoming, stood guarded around the temple. Lady Amira Lioncrest, a tall, striking noblewoman, greeted the party with a mixture of gratitude and desperation. "Our Moonstone," she began, wringing her hands, was to be the heart of the ceremony. Without it, the moon's blessing may never shine upon us again. Astarion leaned toward Tav and whispered,
"I say we find a new stone and leave. Problem solved."
Karlach overheard and grinned.
"Where's the fun in that, Sparkles? Let's get to the bottom of this."
Lady Amira led them to the altar, where a faint residue of glittering dust lingered. Shadowheart, ever observant, dipped her fingers into it and closed her eyes in concentration.
"This dust, it's not just Moonstone, it's shadow dust,"
she murmured.
"Whoever took the stone has cloaked themselves in dark magic."
"Sounds promising," Gale said with a gleam in his eye.
Dark magic often means dark secrets.
Chapter 3, Into the Forest of Twilight. The investigation led them to the Forest of Twilight, a mist-laden wood rumored to be haunted. Tav, always up for a bit of suspense, led the way, with Astarion grumbling behind.
You do realize this forest is likely teeming with less than friendly things that go bump in the night?
Karlach laughed and clapped him on the back.
You mean like you?
After hours of weaving through fog and shadows, the party stumbled upon an ancient, moss-covered ruin. At its center, a large, carved plinth held an empty pedestal where a stone might once have rested. Suddenly, the ground beneath them shook. Emerging from the shadows, a towering figure, half man, half wolf, let out a bone-rattling roar. "Who dares disturb my domain?" it growled. Tav, realizing diplomacy might save their skins, raised a hand.
We're here on behalf of Lady Lioncrest to retrieve the Moonstone.
The creature's eyes narrowed. That stone does not belong to the light. It is a beacon to the darkness that lies within all. Lae'zel snorted.
Enough of your mysticism. Hand over the stone, or prepare to lose your head.
A fight erupted. Karlach and Lae'zel rushed forward with their weapons. Gale unleashed a flurry of fiery missiles, and Astarion nimbly darted between shadows, sinking his daggers into the creature's flank. Just as they thought they'd gained the upper hand, the creature let out a chilling howl. Dark tendrils erupted from the earth, ensnaring each hero in shadowy vines. Only Shadowheart managed to break free, holding her holy symbol high and chanting. With a flash of silver light, the vines recoiled, and the creature was forced to retreat into the darkness. As it disappeared, a small satchel dropped from its clawed hand, and the Moonstone tumbled out. Tav picked it up, admiring the strange glow of the stone.
Well, that was easy.
Shadowheart shot him a disapproving look.
Easy? I was nearly strangled.
Chapter 4, Festival Fiasco. With the Moonstone retrieved, they returned to Neverwinter, where Lady Amira greeted them with relief. "You've saved us," she exclaimed. "The festival can go on thanks to you." The festival preparations resumed with gusto. Musicians played, dancers twirled, and the temple was filled with the scent of offerings. But as the moon rose, casting a silver glow over the ceremony, an eerie wind swept through the grounds. A piercing wail cut through the night as the shadowy creature from the forest appeared once more, towering over the festival grounds. It roared, "You dare defy the shadows?" The crowd scattered in panic, but our heroes stood firm. Karlach cracked her knuckles.
Round 2?
Astarion, with a sly smile, drew his daggers.
I think it's time to finish what we started.
This time, the battle was fierce. Gale summoned a fiery barrier to keep the creature contained, while Lae'zel and Karlach hacked away at its limbs. Shadowheart cast Holy Light, forcing the creature to recoil each time it reached toward the Moonstone. Finally, with one well-aimed strike, Tav drove his blade into the creature's heart. It let out a final bone-chilling shriek before disintegrating into a pile of shadowy dust. The crowd slowly reassembled, their faces a mixture of awe and relief. Lady Amira, trembling, approached them with a small chest of gold and a promise of eternal gratitude. Reflections. As the festival resumed with a jubilant energy, the heroes gathered at the tavern, sharing stories of the night's adventure.
To the moon and to future quests.
Gale toasted, lifting his glass. Astarion smirked.
And may they be a little less shadowy next time?
Karlach laughed, draping an arm around him.
Ah, don't tell me you're scared of a little darkness.
Lae'zel simply grunted, clearly unimpressed with the display of affection.
A Githyanki would never be so sentimental.
Shadowheart raised her own glass, her gaze distant.
To the light and to the darkness, for neither can exist without the other.
As they laughed and drank into the night, they knew this would not be the last of their strange adventures, nor the last time they would test the boundaries between light and shadow. And so, dear listeners, we leave our heroes here, for now. But in the lands of Faerûn, there's always another tale waiting to be told.